Really? I forgot I even had this thing. Does it even work still? What's up? Normally, I would welcome you guys back to the channel. So, like, welcome back to the channel. But for this video, I'm going to welcome myself back. I've been gone for, I don't even know how long it's been. And so, I'm back, guys. And you're due for updates. Some things have changed here and there. For the most part, everything has been the same. I have some time now to finally make a video since the last video I made, which you guys have been crushing that video, by the way. If you haven't seen it, go check that video out. It's, I think it was how I make 280 in my 280 horsepower in my car. So if you haven't seen it, go check that video out. But for right now, what's been going on? First and foremost, the newest change that's happened to the channel is we have a website. I'm going to leave that website in the description below. With this website now, you can go on there and you can purchase the battery relocation kits. You can purchase the remote terminals. I have some stickers on there as well. And I'm also working on getting some merch. Merch is coming, alright guys? That's something like a big goal that I know Nicole and I have been working on because we work together as a team for Surge Motive. So we've been working on trying to get merch going. We think we've got something getting ready in the works. So be on the lookout for that. As far as the website, at the moment as you guys are watching this video right now, I probably already did another drop on battery relocation kits. If there's still some left, hit the website, go get it as soon as possible. But if not, I know I still have some remote terminals in stock. So I have 4 more kits left if you guys aren't sure what the remote terminals are. They were pretty much a kit I made for you right here. So you'd get positive and negative terminal leads, which are cut to length to go right there, anywhere in this section right here. And what they do is all you're going to do is run. You get 2 cables. I'll break it down for you real quick. All right. So you're going to get these 2 cables. Your 90-degree end right here goes to your positive side battery. That's why you got it with a 90 degree, so it can just loop right in. You can attach it that way. Your negative cable, all it's going to do, there is, if you still have your cruise control module underneath this section right here, take one of the bolts out, because the negative cable is just from this right here, the negative post, and then it'll run to the bolt, so you could just ground it off that bolt. That's fine. Positive, you're going to run positive cable all the way. As you can kind of see, I have the fender out for what we're doing today. You're going to run it out. I put a little hole right there, run that all the way down to where your battery is, down there, and then you just hook it to your battery. So 4 of those kits still in stock. I already touched upon battery relocation kits. Those sell almost immediately. I really appreciate you guys. You're loving the kits. And there is a new revision on the kit, not on the tray, on the harness itself. So I'm on version 2 of the harness. Basically, this new charge harness eliminates the distribution block. I found a way to get rid of that block, make it a little cleaner and a little more simpler. It's one continuous harness. You hook it up positive terminal, runs to your alternator, and then you have 2 more hookups which go to your fuse box. This is all for stock location fuse box. So once you would hook it up on your battery right there, you're going to run your positive cable this way. It's going to run up here, and you would still have your fuse box in this location. In this location, you're going to have your 2 cables that run for the fuse box hookup, and that's it. So you're literally you're eliminating your entire charge harness. You won't have the bulky harness coming this way. I'm giving you fuse box connections. It's going to tuck everything way better. Now that's coming with battery kits now. That's going to be your new harness. You're not going to get the distribution block. If you don't have my battery tray, let's say you bought a battery tray from anyone else, or you made your own, I am now offering just the charge harness. So if you just want the charge harness, you could buy that on the website. But I have a note on the website. I'll let you guys know here. There is a 1 to 2 week wait period on that. It just covers me being able to make you the harness and then shipping it out. So between 1 to 2 weeks, you'll get it made, shipped to your door, and that's gonna, you get that. I also have a option if you want to get the grounding kit. Grounding kit is just your negative side terminal, so to the battery, and then a ground from your trans to your frame. So your ground from your trans to your frame goes right here, goes to one of the bolts on the shift selector. One of the bolts, or one of the bolt holes from where you took out your stock battery tray, just put that. I supply this bolt here for you as well. That's pretty much the updates that's been going on within the last month that I've been working. I've been really working on that website, and more stuff to come. That we'll talk about that when that time is here. But today's video is not just an update. I'm actually going to be working on my own car. So the other day I was actually looking at my car. I was making some more battery kits, and I'm looking at the harnesses, and I said, everybody's getting these nice harnesses, and I haven't even given myself one. And the wiring on this car is about 5 years old before I'm going to say I got good at it. It's just disgusting to look at how I have this car wired. I have this fender off so you guys can kind of see how all this is ran, all right? So my setup is different because I have my fuse box inside my glove box. So that's why my wiring runs this way as opposed to running long ways for you guys when you still have your stock fuse box over there, or your fuse box in your stock location. So when I say ugly wiring, all right, this is what I'm talking about. This is just, I'm still using an old style distribution block. I got an ugly just turn on the wire just like this, and it just, I hate it. It gets worse when I show you the fuse box. But all this, we're going to get rid of all this because I'm actually working on a version 3 harness. So I had a new idea for a version 3 harness to even improve the version 2 I just made, but we're going to start first only on my car. We're going to see how it works, and I might offer that. And also, in this video, we're redoing the whole harness. So if you guys have your fuse box located in your glove box, let me know. I may consider making this harness an option for people that have their fuse box here, because I know if you don't have your fuse box in your stock location, I don't offer any harnesses for you at the moment. So I'm trying to work here with everybody, so let me know. So when I say disgusting, this is what I'm talking about. Don't mind all the, I'm using my phone flashlight right now, so don't mind all those wires bunched up back there. That's when I did the relocation more than 5 years ago. That's going to get redone whenever I decide to rip the whole dash out. But for now, I'm talking this blue wire right here. This is my power wire. So my electric steering, that's a horrible crimp. These two were redone for the fuse box. Actually, I think I did these. These were fairly new. I can't remember when, because I see I have some heat shrink on them. A better terminal, but the cable, I don't like that wiring. That's cheap wiring. That's all I got to get done, and I'm just gonna really redo all of this. So first step we're going to do is actually take out this whole harness. So the first thing I did was actually pull out the wiring from the actual fuse box. So I pulled it through this little grommet hole that the car already has, but I added a well, it's not a grommet hole, it had a body hole. I added a grommet to it. I had to cut it because the grommet was too big, so I made it fit. And then I ran the wiring up this way, and the way I'm holding the wires is I actually have these zip tie bases, as you can kind of see in the back. So that it's I don't have any more right here. So what a zip tie base is, it's pretty much a double-sided tape. It does a double-sided tape to the frame, and then you can run zip ties through the base. So that's how I'm holding that like that. And then those ran to my distribution block, which is actually has riv nuts holding it, so I was able to use bolts. That's the first thing. I'm just going to take this off all as one unit. So once I cut that zip tie off right there, I'm going to take these bolts off and follow it all the way down, because the other way I did it too back then was I ran like separate wires to the starter and the alternator before I was actually jumping both of them. So I'm going to break down my first attempt at making a harness many years ago. All right, so you can it's kind of self-explanatory. As you can see again here, these two went to the fuse box. So from the fuse box, they ran out through the fender. They met here at our distribution block. Now our distribution block has another cable, which we'll talk about in a second, but from the distribution block it gets its power from here. So the electricity flow is going this way. Just remember that. So here, this is our main battery cable. So that's why it's thicker than these two. So it goes all the way here. Here's where our battery terminal was, and we had a quick jumper here. Same style, the way I'm going to give you your remote terminals, but this was for the alternator at the time. So this went all the way inside the engine bay, and it went to our alternator right here. Now our starter cable was this black one, and this ran all the way this way, avoided the terminal, so it ran back this way, and that's our other terminal right here that went into the distribution block. more complicated than it needed to be, and I got better at it. Obviously, as you guys know who's purchased the kits from me and you've seen my new harness. Naturally, like I said before, if the fuse box was in the stock location, you would already know how I'm going to wire this up, because I would just be using the kits that I'm shipping to you guys. But because my fuse box is inside, I'm going to come up with a whole different style harness, and just a new version of it that I want to try out, and to make it less, I'll call it breaks, less breaks in the wires. So the main difference from the version 1 to the version 2 harness was that, like I said, I got rid of the distribution block. There's no more breaks. It's all one continuous piece. With this, you guys saw there was, let me count, 1, so there's 2 separate breaks. I don't want any breaks in it, so we're going to address that. Right now I'm going to start laying everything out, getting lengths that I need, and then once I get all the lengths, I'm going to show you the new idea. So after hours of just measuring cabling and figuring out our new routing, I finally got the harness completed. I wanted to show you guys when it was completely finished, not kind of how I'm just piecing one wire here and getting it all together. I want to show you the final product, and I'm in love with this harness. I absolutely love it, and I'm glad I'm getting to put this harness on my car, because this is definitely a step up from what I've been doing, and from just moving from now on. These are how these harnesses are going to look like, so I'm going to break it down how it's working. We went from all those wires that were just half were loomed, half weren't loomed, half had decent crimps on them, the other half had just crap crimps on them, to now this new harness right here, made from scratch. So we're going to we'll start from the post. So from the post, we have 2 cables here, as you can see, 2 cables. So one cable, the one smaller cable runs all the way here, and this is going to go right onto our alternator connection. And then from our alternator we have another split right here, and then this is going to jump our starter. So our starter now is not like if you've purchased my kit before, you have this one hookup and then you have the jumper from the starter to the alternator as a separate one. It's now coming as one hookup. They're all on this one plug right here. So that breaks off of there, and then our main power wire just branches all the way over, and then it splits to 2 wires right here, and then these 2 cables are fuse box cables, and it's just simpler, cleaner, and way more effective. And I'm going to be using the same spot. What I'm going to do is actually use one of these cushion clamps, and these cushion clamps, it's going to go right here. I'm going to use one of these holes so that way it'll hold the harness up on this section at least. And then I could probably run some more zip ties here. Here's a better look at the zip tie base. So you can see it's just double-sided, and then I could run a zip tie right through it. I'm obviously not done yet. I am going to be redoing the power wire from my positive side jumper post. That is also old, just a crap wire. It's very cheap material, so I'm going to be just redoing that one side. The negative side I don't need to do. That one's fine. And then we're going to hook this up, and then we're going to go inside the car and redo the electronic power steering power cable, because that one is junk. It's kind of tight to get the camera in here, but I'm going to show you guys. You can obviously see the new red boot, so everything's all hooked up there. You can see where the other cable splits off to the right side, and then that goes underneath to our starter. That's too dark, you're not going to see that. But like I said, this cable splits off this way, goes that way. Starter's all hooked up. I'm still trying to decide the best way I want to run this cable down here. I'm not sure if I'm going to put like a cushion clamp here to keep it from rubbing on against this, if I'm going to put a rubber hose around this. I haven't decided yet. I'm still trying to figure this part out. But then this will come all the way around, goes to our positive terminal right there, as you can see, and then we'll come back on this side over here, and then you can see from the positive terminal right here, this comes up this way. And here's what I did. I actually added some more riv nuts into the frame. So I got one there holding it. It's coming down this way. The original ones that we had, I'm only using one. Then I added another one here, and then our fuse box wiring just goes through this grommet right here. The hole's actually a little too small, so what I'm going to have to do is, on a later date, I'm going to get my unit bit, and I'm going to pull these wires back out, open this up a little bit so I can put the grommet, because right now the cables don't fit with this grommet. So I'm just have to open that up a little bit. And then we have the new cable coming from my positive jump post. So that's ran this way. It's going into the cushion clamps and down to the battery post. right over there. And this is the new harness. Now, I know you guys have seen me use riv nuts a lot in my videos lately. I've shown this kit before, but in case you're new and you haven't seen it, this is the kit that I use. And I always use stainless steel riv nuts because they just won't corrode. Also in the description, I'm going to leave a link to my Amazon store. So in my Amazon store, you can actually get this exact riv nut kit and the riv nuts, or the riv nut inserting tool. You can buy that from my Amazon store, and the riv nuts, the stainless steel ones. I'll leave that link in the description below. So for the last thing we're going to do today, like I was telling you guys, we're going to be redoing this power line that came from my EPS module. So I have it ran to an inline fuse right here. This is the cable that comes from the module, and if you look, I actually have the computer for, here, let me get a better light. I have the computer for the EPS tucked right right under here. There you go. So you can see this that gray box right there. That's the EPS module. I have all that tucked right in there. Let me fix this light. So this should be a really quick cable to replace. All we got to do is unscrew this so I can get to this fuse. I don't even know what size, what amp fuse this was. I can't even remember. It was so long ago. But this is amateur right here. No good. I don't know how this has lasted so long. I can see it. It's already coming apart. But we're going to fix that. So I want to show you guys, or teach you guys, this kind of, I don't even want to say it's a trick because a lot of people know it, but then there's also a lot of people that don't know it. I was one of the people that didn't know about this. And it's something that a lot of like speaker guys, audio installation guys, they know this trick, and it's what separates their work from other people's work because it makes things a lot cleaner. And I want to show you guys this trick because it's really the right way to do something in this instance. So you guys know I already started making the new cable for the power steering cable, and it goes into this style of connector for the fuse. And normally you would just have your bare strand right here. You'd put this over it like this, and then you'd put this inside, and then you'd run your set screw down and crush the wiring. That works, but I'm going to show you the right way to do it, and something that's going to actually give you a way better connection and a way better crimp almost, rather than just running a set screw down. And they're called Ferrules. I don't even think they're called right. They're not calling them on here. I got this on Amazon. I'll leave this in my Amazon store as well, in case you guys are curious. All different sizes, and all these they're really thin tin plates. All they are. They call them ferrules. And so what you do is you'll get your ferrule, whatever fits over your wiring. So now we got it. Actually, it's got to go this way. So now we got it over our wiring. And originally, if you didn't have one of these sleeves right here that went in, you would just put it in and crush it. So we're going to put our sleeve over this. So make sure that all that fits. And then we're going to put this in here. And so now with this ferrule, what you're doing is you're actually running the set screw down onto that tin little plate, and the plate is crimping your cable. So instead of just your set screw kind of digging through and splitting your copper strands, you're essentially crimping this, and it's much cleaner. And then when you go to pull this off and pull your cable out, you're not going to lose strands because the tin actually protected it, and it's a way tighter crimp. It's just a little tip in case you guys didn't know. You use these pretty much when you're installing amps. So same thing, when you have your power wire going into your amp, you put it in, you run your set screw down. Instead, use a ferrule, and you're going to get a way better connection, and it's just going to last a lot longer. And not only that, if you're doing this for one of your buddies or something like that, you just look more professional. You know, like you look like you know what you're doing, which you should know what you're doing if you're watching these videos. So I just wanted to show you guys the actual strength test of, well, it's not a strength test, but with the ferrule, this is a lot more, it's a lot tighter. It's like this was just crimped in there rather than you just pulling cable out and pulling your strands. So I'm just going to put this little lock back in on the back, and then we can reinstall this. Alright, there we go, guys. Other than the rest of the mess in the back, we now have proper motorsports wiring installed in the car. We don't have just random speaker wire and just cables that we shouldn't have been using. We don't have it in the car anymore. Everything's all proper now. So this is buttoned up. I can put the cover back on my fuse box and close this up. So it has been a long day of just wiring. When it comes down to me making harnesses, it takes a long time. I don't know how long it takes other people, but when I do my harnesses, I'm pretty sure you guys can kind of see it in this video. I mean, I try to do it to the best of my abilities and as professional as possible. So just keep that in mind whenever you guys are, if you're considering going with a battery relocation kit, or you're thinking of, you know, you have a kit, you want some better, you want a better harness or something, just keep that into consideration what you're getting when you purchase from Surge Motive. With that, guys, I'm done. Like I said, I'm beat. I still have a few more things I'm going to take care of, but I could take care of that tomorrow off camera. And I don't even have most of my tools with me anyway. This is just all the tools I have in the garage. So please give this video a big like if you haven't given this video a like yet. Subscribe if you're new. Glad to have you on board. Race season is coming around, so be on the lookout for that kind of content. Because Honda Day, you know, two-time Honda Day champ. I got to go back to Honda Day, and we got to hold it down. And I hope to see a whole bunch of Surge Motive supporters out there. Merch, stickers. I'm going to start carrying all this stuff with me. So if I run into you guys, you just know, if I run into you, you might get something for free. All right? I'll catch you in the next video. Stay motivated and keep making those streets louder.